Hi guys, I did some play around with this case, and I was on YouTube and I found a lot of people having some complaints and stuff like that. But I'm gonna do a tear down of this case so we can see what comes in the box. So it's not gonna be like an unboxing, which is unboxing because I've already opened it, but I will try to give you the lowdown of everything that comes in the case. I have actually opened it before. I like the case. Outside here it shows you a lot of different things that goes inside. So we are going to be taking a look at it. The book, that's the manual, and I think it's from here. And this way. Okay, packing is good. I don't want to talk about the foam. And to save money, this is pure nylon. It's not like Shakun where they have the cloth. This is the case. So I like the case, the foreign design, everything about the case. I do like it. So we're gonna take it one by one and talk about it. First, this is the front. And with their logo is where the RGB light comes on. There's something about this RGB light that we will talk about later. We have ventilation on top. For the ventilation, it's big. I think it's a little bit enough. The IOs, the restart button, the mic and the earphone, two USB, USB 3. And the power pack for restarting is stable. It's not shaking like every other one says. On this side is glass. Yeah, it takes sticks on it, but it's glass. You can clean it. I have something I use to clean it because I don't have to touch it every time. So I set it up and clean it and put it down there. The back, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for a station expansion. The power pack, I would have loved it if there's a plate so you can slide in the power pack from outside, but it's a budget case, so I wouldn't complain too much. For the motherboard, and here you can have 120 fan, and I believe you can also have 140 at the back there. I don't remember, but I'll put it somewhere there that you can see it. And on this other side is just plain board with thumb screws that you can use to loosen it and bring it out very easily. And on top we have the dust filter. You can see the dust filter here, and under it here we also have the mesh dust filter. But if you look at it very well, the holes in this one are much wider than the one under it, but don't let us complain about that, because at least we still have it there to keep away the dust and the stuff like that. I'm gonna put them aside. And here, you can have two 140 or 120 millimeter fans on the top, because the case is not that very long. So you can have two there. And the power pack itself have a way of ventilation, which is here for it under, and there's nothing much. This is something we'll talk about later. The fit is not very bad. I like that. So let's get into it. That is for the outside. The screws are toolless. You can just, by using your hand, you can get them out. I'm gonna place them here on the table. And this, my friend, my brothers and sisters, this is real glass. This is a budget case that comes with a real tinted glass. I like the way it looks when you have the glass. It's a little bit reflective, and when you have your RGB stuff going on inside, the glass, the glass goes on like, it makes it much better and good looking. So this is real glass. I like it. The case is just 60 something euro compared to the one that are expensive. This is a budget case. So that's the glass for you. I'm gonna put this one, let me put it here so we can see what we have in the tearing down. Before we go inside, I'm gonna remove the back plate also. And this is also, like I said, you don't need any tool, just use your thumb to remove it. And we have a plate. So is it cheap? Is it expensive? Is the metal gun finish? It's good. I like the color also. I'm gonna put it on the glass. And now we have the inside. So let's talk about the RGB in front here. The problem with this RGB is there's nothing like special RGB or anything. It's being controlled by the fan they put in front of the intake fan that is in front here. The intake fan could get its own hair from either under here, which is big enough. I don't think it can get more hair inside because it's big. And there's another one on top here, which is wide enough with its own mesh or anything to keep it away from a lot of being dusty. This is the fan. They have it here. We're still gonna open it up and we'll talk more about the fan. Here, for cable management, they have this rubber design that they use. We have about 4 of them. One here for you to bring something in from the power pack. We get another one, another one, another one. We have 4 of them. And there's enough hose for power management or cable management. You can see one on this side here. There's another one here. There's another one here. And we have another 2 more here and on top here. So when we talk about power or cable management, there's a lot of places you can pass your cable to get into your system. So you cannot put any of your hard drives bail here. No hard drives can go here because there's no space for it. But instead of that, they have it behind here. So this is what I'm gonna be talking about. Someone said it only comes with 1, and I have 2 on mine. So they didn't compromise here. I have 2 bails for my hard drive, and you can actually use the 3.5 hard drive also cage to install mini drives 2.5 also, which means you can include 4 in this drive alone, in this system alone. So, but you can only have 2 of the 3.5 cage, which is here, and this is the box for the tools and stuff like that. We will come back to it later. So 2 drive 3.5 bail, and we have the 2.5 also 2 that is included. But I had someone saying on YouTube that his own comes with 1, mine comes with 2, and these are the 2 inside. I didn't purchase anything for it. The back here, they have enough space for you to hook your zip ties or your whatever ties to make cable management arrangement very smooth. Enough space. They curve the panel here so you can have enough space to hide your cables inside on both sides. So there's enough space. I haven't taken the measurement yet, but there's enough space for that. The only problem I might have is this, the space for the power pack. If you don't have one of those modular power packs, you might have problems when you mount your power pack. There's a mounting feet, a rubber there, which you can use to mount, which makes it that it doesn't touch here. But the problem you may have is when you have these power packs that are not, you cannot manage the cable, that are not modular, you have to find a way to tie your cables and arrange it here so that it doesn't go split everywhere, it's the ones you don't need. You can adjust this tray, you can move it, you can slide it forward and backward. I'm just gonna get a screwdriver, I'm gonna go out of frame to get it. First problem, it's not a problem, but I might complain about it, is this drive bay that is here, because you cannot place it in the front, it can only be here. It's adjustable by removing this screw here, and you have to also remove this 2 in the front or in behind. Let me say behind, it's not front, it's behind. Which means your system has to go down, and you have to loosen up this one, which I already have done. So you can slide it to level 1, We got 2 and 3. If you move it forward here, you don't have any space for your fan or your radiator, so you have to give space. When you move it to the second one, you don't have much also. Maybe your fan can go inside, but it will be blocked by the cage also, which makes it a little bit useless. If you move it to the last one, yeah, maybe a little space, but when you put a fan down there, I think is a little bit useless because the cage is still going to block it off, so you cannot be able to, the fan is not going to be effective or whatever. Another problem is when you insert the cage here, especially the down part here, and you are in this level, which is the last one, just because to give more space for your power pack, removing this belly is not going to be easy because this is going to be blocking it from coming out. So that's another thing I see as a problem, but I wouldn't complain too much about it. So it's coming out because we are doing a tear down, so we're gonna bring it out also. It's made from a really good material, so I don't think it's gonna break on you anytime soon. It's metal, so it's not gonna get crushed or break on you unless you have to do it intentionally. So yeah, I like that. It's a good material, you know. So we put that one aside. Down is free. If you are someone who doesn't use a bigger hard drive, you can remove it totally to create more airflow in your system. You can take it out because I did some setup which I didn't use it at all because I had 2 terabyte HDD, one terabyte each. So that was enough space to use for it, so I didn't bother to put it there. I freed the space so I can have more ventilation from there. So that is basically whatever you can remove from this side, unless you're trying to go more further from that. So which brings us to the front. We have to remove this. This is the front. Now we come to the fan that we were talking about before. It's an RGB fan. It glows when you turn it on. This is just plastic, nothing much, and you can see this is just a plain white stuff that is being put there to reflect the fan whenever it's been glowing. So this is just well polished plastic. I think it's not metal or anything, it's plastic, but it's a great material, and that is it there. The fan. So it's just an intake fan. There's no exhaust, nothing to take the air out of your system. So it means you're a little bit, you know. So don't let me use the F word so that YouTube doesn't bound me. So what I did was I got myself one more fan. It's a budget case. I'm not gonna argue because it's a beautiful case. I like the case, so I think spending about 20-something euro to get a fan, which is a little bit very expensive because the case himself is 60-something euro, and I have to spend 20-something euro to get this fan just to get an exhaust for the system. It's a little bit getting me on the high side. So I can use the money towards graphics card or stuff like that, but I need an exhaust because I'm not gonna be doing water cooling or liquid cooling. I'm gonna be doing just air cooling. So I have a big ass GPR. I'm gonna GPU fan. I'm gonna put there. So I want enough ventilation for it. And something I usually think about is, oh, this is with the one included with the controller. If you want the one that doesn't have the controller, I think it's about 16 euros. It's more cheaper, so it's not very expensive. So when you subtract 16 euro for this fan from this case, I think you got this case at a very good deal. That's about 50-something euro or 40-something euro at a good deal when you remove the cost of RGB fan that is included in it. So for me, it's not a bad idea. So what I'm gonna be doing is, I have a RGB header on my board, so I'm just going to include, they are the same, no different, they are the same fans that I got for it. So they're gonna be the same light the same reflection and everything like that. So it's not going to be a crazy RGB design or build. It's just a normal RGB because it's going to be for my wife computer to use. So I just want something that is going to be okay and not going to be crazy RGB blinking every time. So this is not included in the build. I'm just telling you in case you want something, get yourself an exhaust fan so that you can have a cooler system. So let's put that one away and come back to our case. So guys, that is it. The strip down of the case, at least for the stuff that we can remove. I have removed everything. We cannot remove the cable. It comes, you know, with the USB 3 header, the RGB controller for the fan, the power for the fan, the power for the USB or the audio, and you got the restart button and the power button cable. That is everything. Nothing else can be removed again unless you want me to remove the fit, which is made out of rubber and stuff like that. So guys, we've brought it down. This is the system stripped down. Oh, I can remove this also because it's just been screwed down to. It's a black board. It's a black board that they use for the production, and black boards are very good boards for making I/O and stuff like that. So, guys, that is everything that comes with a Corsair system. In case you're trying to get yourself one. Oh, let me see the screws. I cannot see. Oh yeah, we have one more screws. Sorry. I know someone is gonna say, why didn't you remove the fan? So I'm gonna remove the fan also. The cable management is great. Oh, I did have, that is it. That is everything. This is the board, the USB header, the power reset button, everything is there. That is it. And I'm picking up my falling. Let's remove the fan also. Let's remove the fan so we can see everything that comes with the system. So a question someone asked me before was that, does it worth the price? I believe so. I believe it's a good price. Look at it. You got yourself a fan included, a free RGB fan. I got myself cut, so that's why I'm holding my finger so it doesn't bleed everywhere. I don't know how good is the fan. Because I wasn't able to know the line that it belongs to, but I think if I look very well, I'll find it out. So it should be, let's say 16 euros or more, because it has no controller included with it, but it has a long cable compared to the one I bought. I think the cable is also longer, but I'm not sure which one is much longer. But it has a long cable, which means you can just basically put it anywhere. I think the cables are of the same length. The reason why I'm not sure if they are the same fan is because if you look at the top here, you can see the design are a little bit different. So I'm not sure if they are the same, but basically they look alike. Maybe this has lesser blade and this is more blades. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blades here, and we get about 7 blades here. So this is another difference between the two of them, the blades. And that is the strip down of the Corsair line brand casing. That's everything we have there. So guys, if you have any question, you can ask me. Radiator can go on top, and in front you can see how wide it is, so it means you can put in any radiator of your choice. here. That means you have to loss the hard drive bay down here, or if you have an SF power pack, maybe you have more space, stuff like that. But if you want to use a radiator, a long radiator here, you're gonna lose the space. But if you're using a mini case, that means you're building yourself a mini PC. I don't see any reason why you're gonna have a big ass radiator inside here. So the normal one, 1 by 250 or 230 by whatever will go inside. 2 fans here, 3 fans here, and 1 fan behind. That's enough for you to get heat out of this small tank. And another thing you need to consider is, where do you want to put your computer? On the table or under the table? Under the table definitely is going to have more heat. On the table is going to have more cool air. So all your choice. Go crazy, go wide. Accessories, they have everything you need. Zip ties, washers and screws, everything is included in this bag that you need. So that is the 175R from Corsair, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comment, try to just make it in comment there. If you like this video, click the thumb likes. It helps me a lot to know whatever I'm doing. If you don't like it, thumb down and tell me why. I would really appreciate that. I have an Amazon link also. Click on it to buy anything you're going to be buying and support my channel and help it grow together. Let's grow together. And when I pass 1,000, I'll be doing a giveaway. So when you love this kind of unboxing, tear down, of overview, let me know in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next video. So that